Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And this video is going to be titled something like Raw Reality of Becoming a Millionaire, which sounds really weird to say, but as of now, got $1 million plus in the business account, and it's fluctuated for a while, but then we'd have to pay Facebook hundreds of thousands of dollars, or we have to put out a whole bunch more money in inventory and supplies and all these things. And so at first I was excited and I was like, oh, we're almost there. And then it kind of happened. And then now it's there. Now, the weird thing, and I want to just talk a little bit about this. I want to talk about, I was dead broke less than 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And then have been close to broke, even building the business over the last 3 years. And I guess it just is, things are kind of different than you assume they are. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So I grew up not being very financially literate. I don't know if anyone really does, but I didn't save money, really. I just spent it. And I don't even think that's a bad thing. I think I actually was raised with a fairly abundant mindset from my parents, which ended up setting the stage for, I think, being able to make more money. I actually disagree with the save your way to wealth when you have nothing. It's funny because now I'm learning about investing again, and I'm like, oh, I wish I started sooner because compound interest is crazy. And so maybe it's not wrong, but I don't think I would have had the risk tolerance to put everything into this business and to start again so many times, just taking swings and buying courses and investing in coaching and all these things, if I didn't have an abundance mindset from the start. And I don't think I would have had that abundance mindset if I was always trying to save money. And so I'm a proponent of don't try to save your way out of it. Don't try to not buy the coffee. Don't try to live on less. If you're forced to do that, fine. But I don't think that really gets you anywhere. And so I guess I'm just going to share some of my experience, which was trying to go the normal career path while building a side hustle in my early 20s. Being really stressed about my career and not knowing what to do. I'm 33 now. I just turned 33, and it's just weird. Nothing happens in a straight line. I think I always believed that I would, quotes, make it, even though it was totally irrational. And I would be working a job where I was making dog shit money. And I still just had this sense that even though it felt like literally a different world to cross into, where, finances were less of a concern, I was like, I think I'll make it. I think I'll do it. And then very quickly, the prospect of jobs that offered a normal salary or hourly wages, I was like, I'll never make it if I do that. I was like, I'll be depressed. So there's got to be another way. And that just led into all the upsides of entrepreneurship and the uncapped potential of running your own business. And that's kind of why it's weird now, because at the same time that it's like, whoa, what the heck, $1 million in the bank account, I knew it was going to happen, I think. And I know, God willing, I can 10x that or 100x that. I have that mindset that I can almost put this back on the table and just and lose it and then play again. And so what am I trying to share here? On the one hand, it's really hard because this is all just a mental battle. The discipline to lock in and to start a business and to do the boring part, and then the stress tolerance to handle the ups and downs. But if you can do that, it's actually kind of easy. things do scale. Your leverage does become bigger. You go from 5 people on your email list to 5,000 to 50,000 people on your email list, and you can send an email and make $100,000. Like, you really can do that in a few years. And so the hard part is building the machine that can do that. But then it's not hard to suddenly fluctuate up or down a few $100,000. And building the capacity into yourself to let that tide come in and out, I believe, is what allows you to be a person who can have wealth. I'm learning this, but I think if you're not okay with losing tens of thousands, well, starting even just hundreds of dollars on ads, then it's thousands of dollars, then it's taking risks, then it's deciding to invest in the next, employee or the next piece of equipment or the next expense so you can go to the next level. You've got to be okay with letting that go out, and then it allows the money to come back in. So it's a bit woo-woo, but I'm a big fan of the capacity that you create within yourself does allow for the money that you can receive. And if you don't have that capacity, I don't think you'll make the money. You'll be too small-minded. You'll be too closed off to both spending, but also or spending, giving, however you want to think about it, to receiving. So that's kind of it on the, I guess, like the mindset side of it, is you really can, 5 years, 3, 5, 8 years invested in business, like, it basically will make you a millionaire. And that's a kind of a crazy thing. That's kind of crazy that you can just do that. And you really can. You really can. It is the best time ever to create wealth for yourself. In any there's opportunities everywhere. This could be literally a service business. This could be an e-commerce business. E-commerce, honestly, is which I did, is one of the harder ways, because it's very competitive. The profit margins are very slim. It does scale well, but it's tough. Every business model has the tough, parts of it. So I don't want to say it's harder than it's way harder than other business models, but I think that the crazy thing is, like, once you commit to the world of business, and if you can just not give up, like, you'll make it through. And you'll build skills, you'll build leverage that can allow you to kind of get out of the, quotes, rat race. In terms of having $1 million in the bank account, it's just a random number, and it's still, like, that's in the corporation. I'm still learning, how do I get that out without paying half of it to the government? So maybe it's like, you're not actually a millionaire, and I'm learning corporate structure and how to put money into another thing to invest it there. Now, we do pay tax, like, quarterly, so it's like, technically, I think it's most of it's already taxed or whatever. So it is there, but it's like, then you got to get that money out of there. And this is all the other weird stuff that you learn as you actually make some money. It's not as simple as just like, you get $1 million and then you get to do whatever you want with it. Like, you've got to figure out how to get that money without giving it all to the government. And then you figure out that it's really hard to not give half of it to the government. So you really have to make $1.5 million to end up with $1 million. So that's all stuff that I'm learning. But the other thing that I'll share is that the biggest jump in, like, what affects your lifestyle is not like $1 million. It's literally like $10K a month. If you can make $10K a month after tax, like, you have the ability to make more money. Like, you can raise that if you want to. You can work harder, you can get it to 12 or 15 or 20K a month. That's the life-changing part. That's where you're like, you've already beat the 6-figure jobs, and you're like, whoa, I have skill sets that I can deploy to make 10, 15, 20K a month. Or I have a business model that I can push to, you know, profit a few more $1,000s a month if I want to. I mean, that's crazy. That is life-changing. And after that, it just becomes more about stability. It's like, you don't want to be chasing clients, or like, you don't want to be like, you want to build in stability so that it's not like, if you stop hustling, the money stops coming in. So then you build in stability, and then you've probably got to invest more back into it. And that's where it gets a little less exciting, is you're like, okay, I actually have to like keep doing stuff. I have to keep optimizing. I have to keep learning. And then a million isn't as much as I thought it was because of tax or because of all this stuff. So then I gotta invest in a lawyer and an accountant, and then it kind of keeps like snowballing, and you keep optimizing and learning. But then you also just turn around one day and you're like, holy shit, I'm a millionaire. Like, how did that happen? So this is kind of a rambly video. I am not the most organized or financially savvy person, but I am super high in creativity. I am very not averse to risk, and I think I'm a pretty damn good marketer. And so when I combine those things, and product person, and so it's like, when I combine those things, that's the vehicle that propels this forward. Even if it's inefficient, even if I'm wasting money on some things in my business model, I've got the ability to make it rain, to generate more money for the business, to then like solve the other problems by hiring people or getting experts or whatever it is, other people to help me out. So find your unfair advantage and then just keep tripling down on it. What else? I guess the other thing is, like, nothing magically changes. Like, money takes pressure off some things, and then human nature is that you literally forget the blessings that you have, and you start to see what you don't have, which could be you don't have the relationship you want or whatever, which I don't. I would like to be more of a social person maybe than I have been. And you know, you want to be in shape, and then you don't even know what to do with your money. I think that can happen very early on, if you think money is the bottleneck on your life, and then you work really hard and you grind, and then there's $2,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 sitting in your bank account, and then you're still like, I don't know how to deploy that money to make my life better. That's something that surprised me. Is I'll just start working again, and I'm like, that's like, the money can be there and it technically could solve a problem, but if you don't know how to deploy the money in your life, it also doesn't really matter. And so it just gets weird. And the point I'm making there is, like, when you don't have the money, all the problems that you see, you'll be like, man, if I had the money, it would go away. And when you do have the money, you can still not know how to make the problems go away. And you kind of forget what it was like to not have the money. So you just reset. Your baseline just resets. And then you're like, man, you're like, why am I still unhappy sometimes? Or why do I still stress about the things that are going wrong in my business? And that's just like human nature. But it's still pretty cool. I don't want to make it sound like it's not cool. It's amazing to be able to do things. Even going back to like the 10K a month thing. Like, I remember just being like, whoa, if I want to go to a nice restaurant, I go. Or if I want to pick up the bill, I do that. Or if I want to buy a nice gift for someone, or give my, like, a sibling or my parents like $1,000, I was like, I'll do that. Boom. That is an amazing thing to be able to do when you're used to your card tapping, like your card getting declined and not being able to afford gas. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the difference that makes. So that's all amazing. And yeah, if you can stomach the risk, and if you can just not give up, like I said, you can put $1 million away in 3, 5, definitely 8 years. I mean, gosh. So it's kind of there for the taking. Maybe that's the vid. This was, yeah, just wanting to post more videos and share a little bit of what's going on. I was delayed because I'm literally delivering inventory to the US for our US 3PL, and I got delayed at the border. I'm in like no man's land till tomorrow. And so I was like, I should film a YouTube video, because I saw a Hormozy quote. It was like, when you don't know what to do, create capacity, build an audience, get in shape, get good sleep. And so I want to start posting on YouTube again. So I got this amazing energy drink I'm going to enjoy. This is the Ghost Energy. So good. So freaking good. Best energy drink I've ever had. And YouTube is my favorite channel to consume information on. And I would love to get in the habit of posting videos that can just like help people out. There's channels that I love where they just talk in the background about stuff, and I'm like, gosh, I just feel like home when I tune into this. And so I would love for this to be one of those channels for those people. For those people who, like, when they're driving, they can throw it on, talk about business, talk about making your life better, talk about whatever. I don't know. Dating. Maybe I'll start talking about dating, but I'll probably share this on Twitter. And I think I'm going to commit to posting more videos. And providing value. If there's something you want to learn about, I know people on my YouTube channel and the few people who watch to the end of this video will probably be more interested in e-com, which we can talk about. Because I'm the e-com goat, and I've got lots of e-com stuff. And most people they're like, what are the steps to make the money? I've clicked through the videos, and sometimes you're like, I don't want to hear this dude rambling. What are the steps to make the money? So we could talk about that. Maybe I'll try to mix it in. I'll do videos where it's like, very practically, here's what you do to make the money. And we can do some of that stuff, but some of them will just be rambling too. So that's the vid. Have a blessed Sunday. Go make $1 million. Go run some Facebook ads. God bless you. Talk to you next time. Bye.